Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor here at ClassicsToday.com with the greatest recordings ever. And today we are dealing with one of my favorite categories, subgenres, music for symphonic band. I say that because I played in a wind band, symphonic wind band for many years when I was in college. Oh, it was so much fun. You spend a lot of time doing transcriptions of things for that ensemble, which is also a lot of fun, but also just as much time doing like original repertoire, of which there's quite a bit, and very good repertoire too. There's some very, very fine composers who wrote for band. And the disc in question, which I've talked about before, I know I have, but if you're going to get a music for band, symphonic band sort of thing, symphonic wind ensemble, this is the one to get. There's no question about it. On Mercury Living Presence, it's the Eastman Wind Ensemble, the legendary Eastman Wind Ensemble under the equally legendary Frederick Fennell and his successor, A. Clyde. And you have the Morton Gould West Point Symphony for band, and Alan Hovhaness' Symphony No. 4, which is one of the most lovely band pieces you've ever heard in your life. And best of all, Vittorio Giannini, Symphony No. 3 from 1958. It's a four-movement, wonderful, wonderful symphony for a full symphonic band. And let me tell you, it is so catchy and so well written and so much fun to play. Now, Roller does the Hovhaness and the Giannini. Fennell does the Morton Gould. The Giannini was also recorded by Fennell, actually, with the, I think it's the Dallas Wind Symphony or something like that, on reference recording on a disc called Tritico. That's a smoother performance. I mean, the playing is, acquired a little bit more ease than it had. And this was recorded in 63. There we go. So the Giannini was rather new. It was only 5 years old. And the Eastman Wind Ensemble had, well, let's just say a somewhat fruity wind sound. I mean, maybe they were a little intonationally challenged now and then, but it doesn't matter. I mean, because the playing has such clarity and enthusiasm and vivacity. It's just amazing. And the sonics are just stunning. My goodness. I mean, it's like you're in the room with them. There's a crispness to the rhythm and an attack, that's just, it's like no other performance of this work. And there have been quite a few by now. I mean, the Giannini has become very popular. It's taken its place as perhaps the iconic symphony for symphonic band, along with the Hindemith Band Symphony, which is a little more highbrow, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, the Mercury Living Presence had such a fabulous series of music for wind ensemble, largely under Frederick Fennell, and you really need to have some of this stuff. I mean, you do, because if you're serious about symphonic music and classical music, the wind ensemble is just, it's a really iconic formation. We don't pay much attention to it unless you live someplace where there's a tradition of great band music and band music playing, which there certainly is here in the USA. I mean, the college bands are just extraordinary. I mean, the Ohio Marching Band, Ohio State, wow, baby, Script Ohio. There are just things that you need to know about band music. And when I was younger, in growing up in Milford, we had something called the Barnum Festival. P.T. Barnum, he was from Bridgeport, Connecticut. And as part of the Barnum Festival, there was always a muster of brass bands, a competition. And there was a band in Milford called the Shoreliners that I actually marched as part of in like 4th of July celebrations. And they participated in this. We used to go as a family and watch the band competition in Bridgeport. And it was wonderful. It was so cool. And if you watch halftime at college football events, you will see band playing the likes of which you've never seen, with just enormous formations. And they do all kinds of, like visual things now. I mean, dance things and jazz things and it really just an amazing tradition of band playing. And of course, Sousa was American, so he kind of got it going. And there's a huge repertoire of wonderful, wonderful music for this stuff. I did the Planets for band. Oh, was that fun? It was transcribed, of course, by multiple people. And I know some of you who comment here are band players and band transcribers. So yeah, it's all just terrific stuff. And this disc is, I mean, it's maybe first among equals. Let's put it that way. There are wonderful, wonderful band recordings all over the place. But this is where you start. And it is unquestionably, for its genre, one of the great recordings ever. Believe you me. Have a listen if you haven't before, because like I said, I've talked about it before, and we'll probably talk about it again, because it's just an incredibly wonderful, wonderful disc full of great music. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.